I am Salvatore Pirron, and I welcome you to Worldwide. This time we are going to broadcast from Dharamsala. Dharamsala is a town in India, north of India, on the bottom of the Himalayas, the mountains you see. The reason we are here is because here in this town and all around, there is the Tibetan community in exile. And His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, the Tibetan's spiritual leader, is also here. And we are going to go around in the Tibetan's community. We are going to show you some offices and kindergarten, a monastery, and something else. But mainly, we came here to have a private interview with the Dalai Lama. And I'm happy to broadcast from here. It's a wonderful place, sunny as you can see. Night is a little chilly. So you watch the show and you will live with us this experience. This is the Te Chok Ling Monastery in Dharamsala, where about 200 monks live, study, and pray all week long. The wheels that you see on the building of the monastery are called prayer wheels. As the wheels are numbered, each time a person turns one of them, credit is given for praying. This is the kitchen. They are preparing breakfast. This is the outside of the temple, where the monks are chanting their morning prayers. When we filmed this in February, it was a big event for the Tibetans, as they are celebrating their New Year, 2116 years. This is the residence of Lama Tashi Galsen, director of the monastery. He is an 80-year-old man. He gets up every morning at 4 a.m., but today he is ill and remains in bed. After they eat breakfast, they go into the temple and continue to pray. Part of the ritual is serving and drinking tea together. In contrast to the secluded life of the monks, here we see the joy of children playing in the schoolyard. They don't have many facilities for sports, but when I saw them, they certainly seem to enjoy the American sport of basketball. Now let's go inside the school building. And right now we are in the office of the director of the Tibetan Children Village. The director of the village is His Holiness the Dalai Lama's sister, who is right now away. And her assistant is here, and I'd like to ask her a question. So the question I'd like to ask you, first of all, what's your name?
I'm Tashi Hama.
I'm Tashi Hama. And how Tibetan Children Village works?
Tibetan Children's Village is a charitable institution founded in 1960 by the late elder sister of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and it is an institution for orphans, for semi-orphans, and for children from destitute families.
How many children at all?
We have nearly 1,500 children living in the village.
This is from Dharamsala?
Yes, only in Dharamsala. Yes,
in Dharamsala, how many Tibetans are living? Maybe I heard the 7,000 is possible?
Yes, around. Yes.
7,000 inhabitants, and out of them 1,500 children. It's fine. It's a nice number. And do you have problems raising the children in the school?
Well, we have had 28 years of our existence in serving the needy children, and with the kind understanding of our friends abroad in contributing us the funds to raise the children and to promote the livelihood of our children, for a better future. We have so far had not really any problem as such now, but of course in the early times when the children's village was just being founded, that was a very difficult period.
And
yes.
I bet it was.
Yes.
How many languages do they learn here? Tibetan only or English? Or?
Well, you see, because we have to follow the school system set by the Indian Educational Board, our children have to learn at least 2 languages, 2 foreign languages. And besides Tibetan, children have to take up English as the medium of instruction at the high school.
Yes.
And Hindi must also be taught.
Yeah, because you live in India.
Yes, that's
yes.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah, right. Thank you very much. Now, today is a holiday, so children are in school. But nevertheless, I like to show you one of the classes where children go.
They are certainly taking advantage of their day off.
This children village from outside. Here's one of the classes. As I said before, they have no class today because it's a holiday. Yeah, and this is the outside of the medical institute, the clinic. Not much, that's what it is.
Okay.
We are in the medical center of the Tibetan community. A doctor who is a monk is visiting a patient.
Prescriptions are filled at the pharmacy. A lot of people are waiting online. What you are seeing now is the complex of the Tibetan government offices. This is the headquarters of the Tibetans who are in exile in all parts of the world.
Yeah, let's enter one of the offices.
And this is the Central Communications Office.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you see behind is the Himalayas,
Yes.
chain of mountains. Those are Tibetan children. And this to my right is the library, the Tibetan library. So where we go in and we see how it looks like. And vamos, let's go.
There are hundreds of volumes, including some very valuable manuscripts. The manuscripts are in a special code and represent thousands of books on Tibetan Buddhism. Their culture is based on Buddhism with their own set of beliefs. And now we are going to experience the excitement of the prayer festival. Thousands of people are congregating for the final day of the festival of prayer. The festival falls on the full moon of the new year and lasts 5 days. There is a lot of electricity in the air because on the last day of the festival of prayer, the Dalai Lama makes a personal appearance to pray with the people and with the monks. The Buddhist monks vow to take refuge in their 3 Buddhas. The Lama embodies all 3 Buddhas in his living person. The hands are touched to the head, the throat, and the heart, signifying body, speech, and mind. Thousands attend this festival. The monks, headed by the Dalai Lama, begin to pray together. As symbol of prosperity, the monks serve rice to each other. And the ceremony continues with more chanting. And the high point of the day is when the Dalai Lama addresses the crowd. Now the ceremony is ending and the Dalai Lama is leaving. Alicia Rodriguez and I had the great privilege to meet one of the most extraordinary of world leaders, His Holiness the Dalai Lama of Tibet, whom we met in Dharamsala, India. His Holiness usually gives interviews on television to an interpreter because, as he himself says, he speaks in a poor, broken English. Actually, we felt that his own force of communication is so great, it was better to have him speak directly, so that people could feel his unique mind at work. His Holiness also had a severe cold the day we met him, so the listener must make a special effort as if they were themselves visiting His Holy Man in a faraway land to follow this interview. We feel that effort will be amply rewarded. Thank you. Let's go now. With you.
Everybody's a cold. Your Holiness, it's an honor for me, Salvatore Peron, to have an audience with you. Thank you. Alicia Rodriguez, who is a very successful television actress in Mexico and America, is also the international representative for the flag of peace. We just came back, we just arrived from Mount Abu, north of India, where Alicia presented the flag of peace to the representative of over 40 countries. At the peace conference organized by Global Cooperation for a Better World, of which I believe you are a patron. Now, Your Holiness, if we may, we would like to ask you some questions. And the first of the questions I would like to ask you is, what is your actual position with the Tibetans since you left Tibet over 40 years ago? What I mean is the Tibetans from Tibet.
I'm Tibetan, and the people, they are mentally very close to me, and they practically, I think, everyone is looking towards me and expecting too much, I think. So therefore, as a human being, and who are thinking all human beings is same, and I myself, telling people, the important thing is we need, I would say, some kind of sense of universal responsibility on the basis of love and kindness, compassion. While speaking other people, because I myself must practice these things.
Yes.
In that sense, you see, I always see look humanity as one. Then particularly, you see, those persons who are, you see, very close, let's say, close feeling and expecting and trust on me, then of course you have a special responsibility, moral responsibility, of course, to help whatever I can help. So,
Since Your Holiness left Tibet about 40 years ago, what changes have you been watching in the Tibetan community? And what is their relationship with the Chinese government and with the Chinese?
it seems, you see, generally, basically, you see, Tibetan, despite all these destruction, Tibet still remains as a Tibetan, and respect or their love to their own, say, culture, you see, and Buddhism, I think is very strong.
Yeah.
Even I think stronger. than-
Even stronger.
Yes, you see, particularly among the younger people, their faith is more stronger than even, you see, elder people, it seems. That's certain, I think it's a certain, let's say, aspect of their, as a way of, you see, converse, you see, way of, let's say, behavior. It seems to some change.
What direction?
Unfortunately, in some cases, you see, younger people, of course, understandable under you see, such circumstances, you see, seems to be more, let's say, easier to agitate, isn't it? So that kind of, you see, in other words, you see, a little bit, you see, short temper, that kind of thing.
I see.
It seems, that's understandable. Now, you see, Tibetan, or in India, generally, you see, their behavior is more gentler. Sometimes it seems like it. But overall, you see, Tibetan, whether outside or inside, you see, their determination, you see, their will and to conserve their own nation and culture is something really remarkable. Very strong. So that's why, you see, Tibetan problem. Now comparatively, it's now, you see, old issue, isn't it? But still, you see, Tibetan problem is still remain, let's say, very, I think, very alive.
Of course.
Because of, you see, people's determination. You see, elder people, younger generation, see, previous generation, more or less now gone. Now you see, new generation, who never saw you past Tibet, and who born and grow under Chinese domination. Now these people, you see, remain, let's say, front of, let's say, struggle, remain in front of, let's say, struggle for fundamental freedom.
Your Holiness, the Chinese government would not oppose your return to Tibet. What is your position on this issue?
Actually, you see, the Chinese government is showing, let's say, a kind of concern about Dalai Lama's future, about Dalai Lama. So they told me, you see, they are very much welcome for my return.
Yes.
Then I am telling them, the problem is not my problem. Just as the Dalai Lama's problem. The thing is, the Tibetan nation is a 6 million Tibetan people. What is it? Thank you. It's their future and their culture. That is the main thing. If sorry, if you see people of Tibet, if they satisfy, they're happy, then also Tibetan refugee. and naturally will return, including myself. So you see, I am telling the Chinese government, you should not need any worry about me,
Yes.
about myself.
I understand.
The most important thing is Tibetan condition.
Yes.
You see,
You don't
of
put
course,
your-
you see, naturally, you see, the Chinese, you see, came. This is some, you see, new, how to say, new development, new progress. Obviously, there. The new roads, new construction, the new school, so on. But as you see, recently, late Panchen Lama mentioned, it's the last, now, you see, more than 30 years experience. The destruction site is more than the, what to say, construction. So he himself, so under such circumstances, you see, he compelled, he desperately, you see, expressed. So therefore, you see, that's the problem. So that's why, you see, almost I think, you see, more than 90% of Tibetan people, you see, never satisfied, not satisfied with the present condition. Therefore, you see, they, from time to time, you see, people express their deep sorrow, despite, you see, Chinese ruthless, how to say, strike, oppression, suppression.
Yes.
And recently, you see, now, students in Peking itself, you see, Tibetan students, you see, express their deep sorrow. So therefore, you see, the problem is, you see, that, you see, we are concerned about, you see, that aspect. Then, fortunately, now Chinese government, you see, start to agree or to see there is, you see, some kind of problem. So, you see, Chinese government recently, you see, expressed they want to discuss with us about future of Tibet. That's, you see, encouraging side.
Sure.
So, it's comparatively, now you see, say, now compare 50 years ago. Now, you see, present Chinese leadership, so they are much more open-minded, much more, how to say, I think, reasonable attitude. Now, you know, everyone, you see, now notice in China proper, now much, you see, things changing, things happening. So, in other words, now, the more human face now is coming up. That's hopeful sign.
From Chinese.
I mean, in China proper.
Right.
So you see, at the same time, their attitude towards, you see, Tibetan also is changing.
It's changing.
That's hopeful sign.
Encouraging.
Yes.
That's good.
Therefore, you see, recently I made some kind of, what's it?